Hey, hope you're having a good Tuesday. Thank you for joining me for today's 5 for 5. Today I want to look at John chapter 13, share a few verses there, and then just to tune into a little bit of what a disciple looks like and how people know that we are followers of Jesus Christ. John 13, verse 34, Jesus says, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." If you read through John, you read through his letters in 1st and 2nd and 3rd John, you see that love for each other is a hallmark of what Jesus calls his disciples to do. A new commandment Jesus is giving is what he says. And you may think, well, wait a minute, what about Matthew 22? Jesus said that the greatest commandment was to love God with everything we've got and to love our neighbor as ourselves. How is this a new commandment? Well, if you go look at John 15, you actually see a little bit more of what this love looks like that Jesus says we're supposed to have, because in John 15, he says, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends." It's not just love for our neighbors and love for God, but truly to love others as Jesus has loved us, to be willing to lay down ourselves for someone else. And that may ultimately cost us our lives, true, but it also may mean that we lay ourselves and our own wants and our own desires to the side to be able to have love for each other. As believers, Jesus said this would be the hallmark of us, that people would know that we are his followers, that we're his disciples, his apprentices, if we have this type of love for each other. Every Sunday, we see people come in and out of this lobby. We see people connect with us who come for the first time, some who walk and see signs like this and go straight to the worship center and maybe come right back out. And sometimes I'm one of the few people that gets a chance to be able to have that first contact with them. And I encourage everyone who's in part of our greeter team to have those conversations, because the worst thing that could probably happen would be for someone to come to this church and to not feel the love that someone could experience as they come and get to know other people within this congregation. Those of us who've been here for years, those who have friends and really family within this church, we start to feel and experience that love. But many people who come on a Sunday morning, they could be hurting. They could be in a lonely place. Some people may not even come through this lobby. They just go directly around it, past these doors, come in the back door and leave out the back door. How much love have they been able to experience? How much love did they get to feel? And the cool part is when I see people go through this lobby, we get to have conversations. They get into our church. I love it when people get here early and they can get to talk with some people, talk with our pastors and get to know us a little bit. And they get into worship, they find a seat, they get to talk to people before church. Maybe they get to know the people who are sitting around them a little bit. What's even better is when we see them go beyond that and they get into one of these classrooms back here and they get into our grow groups and get into a place where they can grow in the Word of God, in a community of faith where they can share the love of Christ with each other. A place where we truly see the ministry needs and the heart needs of people getting met as we see people connecting in real community and gathering with other believers. If you're coming and you're a part of our church, I encourage you, don't just walk around this building. Don't just go straight to the Johnny Mercer entrance back there. Come on in. I'll probably be here and I'll be able to talk with you a little bit and say good morning. If you're here for the first time and you're trying to find your way, don't just look at the signage, but maybe ask a person for help. We'd love to help you find your way. But if you're here every Sunday, I also want to encourage you. Maybe you've been here longer than I have, and you're seeing people come in for the first time. What are you doing to show the love of Christ to them? How are you willing to lay yourself and your wants and even your Sunday morning aside to be able to show the love of Christ to the person who's right there in church with you? To show that there is no greater love than the love that Jesus has for us, and that we would lay our own wants and our own desires aside to be able to show love to someone else who may be here in a place where they're hurting and a place where they're coming to find hope. So wherever you are in that, whether you're coming for the first time or you've been here forever, look for ways that you can show the love of Jesus Christ to others, because ultimately it's the way that people are going to know that we are his disciples, is when we show that love to each other. Hope you have a great day. Tune in tomorrow when Pastor Eric brings the 5 for 5. And if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're going to YouTube, be sure and like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and that way you'll be sure to always get these right off the beginning of your morning, even without an email notification. Hope you have a great day.